On October 21st, IBJ unveils the 2025 Women of Influence. Join us to celebrate Indy's most inspiring leaders and hear the powerful stories behind their success. Don't miss this moment. Register now at ibj.com/influence 2025.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. The city of Rochester recently broke ground on an $11 million water project that is just the first step in bringing a planned industrial park online. Mayor Trent Odell says the city is building a 750,000-gallon water tower to increase capacity and also extending water and sewer lines to the property near State Road 25.
The first step was to get the infrastructure out there so that we could actually market it. We're pretty confident, given our location in between a lot of development north and south, that we'll be able to not only stimulate further investment, but get these buildings turned.
He says Illumi Tech Products plans to build a new facility on the site, and he's had interest from developers for 2 speculative buildings. GT Industries, a provider of metal stamping and welding services, has announced plans to lay off 95 workers at its facility in North Vernon in December. In a notice to the state, the company said the move was being made because of an end of production on program, but provided no other details. The Morgan County Board of Commissioners gave approval Monday to rezone an additional 158 acres of land near Monrovia for a planned $1 billion data center. The approval followed much opposition from local residents who expressed concerns on potential noise pollution, water usage, and impact on roads. The proposal now goes to the Morgan County Council. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
After 5 years of planning and preparation, Bedford Collab is onboarding its first cohort into a shared commercial kitchen in Evansville. DeAndre Wilson, Bedford Collab's co-founder and chief operating officer, says the facility is a licensed and certified food production facility designed for entrepreneurs to start, scale, and grow their businesses.
The plan is to build the culture that we want, make sure that they're strong, and then after the first of the new year, we're going to bring this second cohort in so they can learn from the first cohort because they've already been in the kitchen for so long. We're open, we're functioning, we can demonstrate, what we really can do, because the shared kitchen concept is still hard for a lot of people to vision or digest. And now they can look at, online posts or what have you to see, okay, this is how that's supposed to operate.
Though the first floor of the building is ready for use, Wilson says he has plans to raise capital to renovate the second story for additional culinary space. He says that space would be used for food preparation as well as classes and workshops. Utah-based experience management company Qualtrics has announced plans to acquire Press Ganey Forsta in South Bend for $6.75 billion. Qualtrics said the deal would combine its artificial intelligence-based customer and employee experience software with Press Ganey's expertise in the healthcare sector to create a more complete platform. Press Ganey has developed its own experience and research technology platform designed to help companies in multiple sectors, such as healthcare, financial services, and hospitality, better understand and serve their customers. The deal is expected to close in the coming months, though it was unclear if the acquisition would have any impact on Press Ganey's South Bend operations. Just days after launching the public phase of its $575 million fundraising campaign, DePaul University has received an $80 million gift to fund a major project designed to support the university's athletics programs. The commitment will fund the construction of a new 70,000 square foot athletic stadium and sports performance center, which the university says will redefine student-athlete wellness, fan experience, and community engagement. President Lori White.
This renovation will not only provide a great fan experience for people like me who love sports, it will focus on making sure that our athletes are prepared physically that they are prepared mentally, that if they happen to get injured, that we can support their recovery.
Construction on the new Blackstock Stadium and Performance Center is slated for completion in the fall of 2028. Authentics founder Amy Brown is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Hi, I'm Dave Neff, host of Talent Scout. On this show, we shine a light on Indiana's next generation of leaders who are making a difference in business, community, and civic life. These are real conversations about purpose, mentorship, and building a future that matters. Join me as we invest in leadership that lasts. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast app or listen at ibjpodcasts.com. Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.